Hello all, welcome to the next video in Linux command line tutorial series. In this video, we'll learn an interesting and very useful command in Linux, which is cat command. So cat stands for concatenate. So the cat command reads one or more files and copies them to standard output. So the general syntax of cat command is cat and the arguments can be files. So the arguments can be files or cannot without it also runs without any argument. So first let us see some examples to understand cat command. So let us see the contents of current directory. You can see that current directory contains 4 files whose names are a, m1, m2 and m3. So let us use cat command with an argument, let's say file a, and let us see what happens. You can see that it prints the contents of a file onto standard output, which is terminal screen. So let us see the contents of a file and check whether it is true or not. You can see that a file also contains the same. So the cat command reads one or more files, say in this case a file, and copies them to standard output. Standard output is terminal screen in our case, so it is getting printed on terminal screen. We can also give more than one files as an argument to cat command. Let's see, let us give m1, m2, m3 files as an arguments to cat command and see what happens. You can see that so let us see the contents of m1. You can see it is first part, and let us see contents of m2, it is second part. You can also see contents of m3, which is third part. So the cat command prints all m1, m2, m3 to standard output consecutively. So we can use this property of cat command, which is to copy multiple files to redirect all the multiple files into a new file. So it is used to concatenate many files into a single file. Let's say let us concatenate m1, m2 and m3 into a new file called m. So let's use regular expressions. Let's say m and star, starting with m and ending with anything, then redirecting it to a new file, let's say m. Now let us see the contents of current directory. You can see that current directory contains these 5 files. If you see the contents of m, or you can see contents using cat command on terminal screen, you can see that m contains all the contents of all three, m1, m2 and m3. In this way we can concatenate multiple files into a single file using cat command and redirection. So what happens when we not give any argument to cat command? So let us clear the terminal and see what happens when we don't give any argument to cat command and run it. You can see that the cursor just blinks here. So what this does is the cat command copies standard input to standard output. So in our case we didn't give any file name. So the standard input is nothing but the input which is taken from the keyboard. So it is just waiting for us to type something. So let us just type I am testing cat command. You can see that it printed I am testing cat command here. So it is doing its job. Cat command is taking standard input and giving it to standard output. So to end this session, we have to press Control D or Command D in Mac. If you press Control D, it specifies we have reached end of file. So if you press Control D, the prompt comes back. So we can use this property of cat command to create short new files. So by redirecting them into file names. So let us create a file whose name is, let's say, new file. So the contents of new file, we have to type the contents of new file here. Let's say I am a new file, and if you press enter and then Control D specifies end of file, and if you see the contents of current directory, you can see that there is a new file If you see the contents of new file using cat command, you can see that new file contains a new line which is what we have typed here. So in this way we can create short new files on terminal using cat command. So there are many other interesting options with cat command. You can see them in man page of cat. You can see all these interesting options like numbering all output lines and squeezing blank spaces and showing tab characters and all. You can just refer to the man page of cat command whenever we want any specific option. And so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.